I think we may have a few more individuals joining as we get going here, but I wanted to go ahead and get us started. As many of you probably know, my name is Tim Moody. I'm the Director of Operations and Customer Success here at AgileBlue. Also on the call today are Vivian Fan, who's one of our lead cybersecurity engineers and is going to be taking us through a demo here in a few moments, as well as Rob Sondels, our Director of Software Engineering and Architecture at AgileBlue. So first things first, really want to thank all of you for joining this morning. We're very excited to be presenting the latest enhancements to our platform, which were released to all customers over the past week. So just a quick agenda for the call today. I'm going to be passing it over to Vivian here in a moment to go over Sapphire AI Insights. She's going to be doing a demo, going through some of the details that come with those features, as well as some of what comes next on that front as well in terms of autonomous response. And then we'll have some time here at the end of the call for any questions or discussion that you may have. So Vivian, I'll pass it over to here and you can take it away.
Hi, everybody. It's very nice to see so many people who are interested in, coming to our demo and taking a look at some of the new features that we're coming out with today. But of course, AgileBlue as your AI-powered SecOps platform with the 24/7 human touch you trust. But we're very, very excited to introduce our latest feature, which is Sapphire AI Insights. Our dev team has been working very, very hard to bring you the latest feature, which allows our Cerulean platform to continuously detect, investigate, and autonomously respond to endpoints, networks, and cloud platforms faster and more accurately than any traditional SOAR out there. Sapphire AI is now able to analyze a case and provide you with the most accurate information regarding new alerts within your environment. So simply put, basically, it's going to allow you to more quickly investigate any cases that are coming in and provide you with the most accurate information in the smallest snippet of time. So I do want to go ahead and jump into the portal just so you guys can see the new features that we are coming out with. Can you guys see my screen here? Tim, can you see that?
Yep, looks good.
Okay, perfect. So, our main dashboard has not changed. Most of the changes that you're going to see are going to be coming in from our cases and then the individual case pages. So if we go into the case page, you'll see that there has been one new update to this page, and that is going to be this completion column. This completion column is really there for us to be able to show you guys what cases are currently being analyzed and the progress in which it's being analyzed. If you hover over any of these, you'll see kind of the status in which its current completion phase is in. And additionally, the phase in which its completion is in, and then you'll be able to see which ones are complete or which ones are in progress. We do have a couple demo cases prepared for you today. This is an example of one of those demo cases here. The first thing that you want to chat about is going to be this case summary. So previously, with our case summaries, we did provide you guys with a ton of information, such as when the case was created, which one of our analysts were working on it, and then, of course, our analysts were working really hard to provide you with all of their investigation notes here in the activity log. However, also, we are now adding this case summary. What this will do is it will analyze each of these individual alerts. Right here in this particular case, you can see that there are 4 alerts. Rather than having to open each of these individual alerts and reading through all of the raw logs, which either you may not be familiar with reading raw logs, or it's just not fun to read through raw logs and it can take a significant amount of time. What we've done is allowed our AI to read through each of those and create you a brief summary on what is going on in this particular event. As our AI continues to analyze, this case summary will update. So if it analyzes one of the case summaries will appear, and then as it analyzes the second one, this will update to reflect that. So at 100% completion, you'll see the final case summary. This is great because it gives you a general idea of what's going on, so that you don't have to kind of piece things together by just looking at the raw log. Additionally, it's also going to provide you with, it's right here, its analysis on whether or not the case may be potentially malicious or benign. It's also, if found as potentially malicious, going to provide you with recommended next steps. Of course, this handy dandy and all, but we do want you guys to be able to verify the data, one of those trust but verify situations. So we don't want you to just say, hey, trust our AI. We are going to pull out all of this relevant information from each individual alert into our artifact section. Our artifact section is going to include information such as host names, usernames, processes that were executed, files that were accessed, DLLs that were run, any modifications to the registry, you'll see those right here, and then any source and destination IPs. For processes, we're going to do additional analysis on that. So for example, right here, you'll see that we are pulling out individual hashes for each type of executable and then running an analysis on each individual one. We'll see an analysis on what kind of industry it's from, what malware family, if there is one available, and then the reputation. There are going to be a couple different reputations that you might see, one of those being benign, undetected, or malicious. Benign means that based on our threat intelligence, it's found to be benign. There is no malicious behavior previously associated with it. Undetected means that right now there is no confirmation on whether or not this is malicious, but there has been no malicious activity previously associated with it. And then if it is malicious, you will see that, and that is something that you may want to continue your investigation on and see if that is something you will need to remove from your environment. Additionally, you'll also see these for files. We'll also be running individual hashes on those. And then as well as for DLLs, we are going to be pulling the hashes for those, as well as doing individual analyses for each of those particular artifacts. In this particular case, you won't see any registry modifications, but we are going to be tracking individual registry modifications just so that if there are any major modifications to your network or devices within the registry, that is something that we'll see, as well as source and destination IPs. So again, this particular case does not have one, but we are also going to be enriching the source IP and destination IP data with the ASN provider, the country and region in which that particular IP is located in, and then the IP reputation. So whether or not that IP has ever previously been used for malicious purposes. If it has, that is something that you'll see within its analysis and reputation section as well. The next really, really cool thing is we're also going to provide you guys with a response task list. So in the event that this particular case is going to be malicious, we are going to provide you with a task list of recommended actions that you can take in order to clean that up. So you'll be able to see tasks such as deleting firewalls, adding firewall rules if you don't already have those specific rules, maybe deactivating users that are performing potentially malicious activities. Over here for this particular case, it's saying, maybe turn off this administrator account or disable that administrator account. This is a separate case that we have. I can go down and pull open the artifacts here so you can see, we are doing that analysis for each of those individual artifacts that we're finding, and then pulling open that response task list. Again, you'll see a different response task list here. They are catered towards each individual case based on the events and activities that we're seeing in here. In this case, you're seeing its recommended activity is to add a new firewall rule. So those might be some of the actions that you'll see. Again, these are just recommended actions. You don't have to do them. Our team, of course, is always available for you. Our customer success team is always available, as well as our 24/7 SOC team to help you guys with your investigation, as well as provide recommended next steps if you have any questions about an event going on within your environment. And then the last thing that I really want to dig deeply into is going to be our Sapphire Insights autonomous response. We're very, very excited about this new feature. This new feature allows Sapphire to autonomously respond to threats by isolating endpoints or disabling O365 user accounts. Now, we've always had the ability to go ahead and isolate those user accounts as well as isolating devices as well as disabling user accounts. However, now you can choose to do this autonomously. You will be able to toggle this particular feature on and off. Once this feature becomes available, this will start as off so that, if in the event that you don't want this, you don't have to turn it on. But you will have to still do that manually. Our SOC team will also still be able to do that manually for you. But this autonomous response feature is really great for just making sure that as soon as something happens, our Sapphire AI Insights is able to detect that and then create an immediate action towards that. This feature is currently disabled at the moment as we are running it through machine learning. We are in the process of going through all the different machine learning that will allow our Sapphire Insights autonomous response feature to be able to accurately respond to the threats within your environment. Once this feature becomes available, we will absolutely be reaching out and providing everybody with an update on that. But I did want to leave ample time for questions here. So is there any questions that you guys have so far or anything that came up that you would like to know more about?
Yeah, so it looks like we've got one question in the chat so far. That is, what is the alert playbook? Can you explain a little bit more about this? So Vivian, do you want to take that one?
Yeah, absolutely. So our alert playbook is really how we respond to any events within your environment. So we are going to do our detections for your environment. And then if a case needs to be escalated, these primary and secondary escalation trees are going to be how we will reach out to you. We also have the ability to give you a phone call in the event that something catastrophic happens. Knock on wood, hopefully it never does. But this is really how we are going to respond. And you can let us know how you would like us to respond, and we will go ahead and update your alert playbook accordingly.
And one more question that's come in so far. What is the license subscription required for Sapphire AI feature? So I'll take that one. Sapphire AI Insights, the majority of what Vivian has demoed here today in terms of the automatic analysis and case summary is actually already live and available to all subscription levels for our customers. The portion that will be determined by subscription level is going to be the autonomous response feature. That is part of our Pro package currently. Great question. And one more, will it be possible to enable autonomous response for workstations only and not servers? I think I can take that one as well. Initially, that is not going to be a UI feature, but we do have a couple of options in place to allow for that ability starting off though. So the short answer would be yes, we'd be able to do that for you. And then Rayhan asked, is the summary validated by any analyst? Vivian, do you want to touch on the analyst workflow there?
Yeah, absolutely. So our analyst workflow has not really changed all that much at all, outside of the fact that they are now able to do a quick case summary and read this just to kind of get a general idea of what's going on. Of course, our analysts are still going to go into each individual alert to verify what is going on with our AI and make sure that that is correct. As far as AI hallucination goes and making sure that those are accurate, we are currently at 90% is what I've been told, which is very, very good as far as most LLMs go. But that does mean that there is that 10%. Of course, that's where our 24/7 SOC analysts come in. They are there to make sure that our AI is accurate and that if it is inaccurate, that is something that we can resolve for you. We do not want to solely rely on that AI feature.
All great questions. Any other questions so far? Doesn't look like we have any other questions coming in. So a couple of notes before we wrap up here. Number one, as Vivian mentioned, all enhancements or changes to our platform and this feature, Sapphire AI Insights, will be communicated as we make additional updates, such as fully launching to our pro subscribers the autonomous response features directly in the portal. we'll be communicating those updates. If you have more questions or ever want to talk about this one-on-one or anything like that, we're always open to those discussions. Your assigned customer success representatives will also be going over these features on your monthly calls, as well as any other future updates to the platform. Does look like we actually had one more question come in right now, so I'll backtrack to that. Can clients interact with the SOC agents via activity log notes? So currently, the activity log notes in the case summary is primarily used to keep track of the history on the case. We would ask that if you want to communicate directly with a SOC analyst, you're either reaching out via email, live chat, or on our SOC analyst phone line would be the best options there. Great question. All right. If there's no other questions, I think that really brings us to the end of our agenda here today. As I said, if you do have any questions as you kind of review your thoughts from this call, feel free to reach out to our team anytime. We'd always be happy to help or jump on a one-on-one call as well. Thank you, everybody.